Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Raw Zim, and this is Data Anomaly Hunter's Scar. This is one of our Digimon tabletop RPG campaigns being run with our custom Scar system, or Stories and Creatures in Alternate Realities. The system is available for open playtest on our Discord as well as at itch.io, so do take a look at it and let us know what you think. For now, though, we shall begin with introductions, beginning with Zerda.
Hi, this is Zoda the Fox, and we're going to have a very railroady session today. On to you, Folger. If it's no longer Ash.
Hi, I'm Gimund, and I'm playing Folger, the very timid brother of Arcus, who is right now in control of Arcus's body. And he is a Harrismon who is electric basic type. On to the Asher.
I am Razim, and I am playing as Asher, the Labramon. He is Astral Light type, and God of Death, Lord of Evil, and... yeah. A medic of the party. Off to you, Haboku.
Hello, y'all. I'm short for IDDoThings, and I'll be playing Haboku, the Lugamon, Necrotic Fire minion, and of Asher, and currently in a state of undeaf. On to the Jace.
Hello, I'm Drunk Dragonair. I'm going to be playing Jace, the Black Gillimon X, who has recently been rearmed in his Shadow Mythic type. Off to Kotora.
Hello, everybody. I'm Raharu, and I'll be playing Kotora, the Mythic Fire type Gabumon, who is very sleepy and just watching out for his brother, who is even more sleepy after just being exhausted and running around town all day, all night yesterday, or all afternoon.
Hey, that's not Asher's fault. You just decided to go running after him for reasons.
Kotora did it for his brother.
Your brother was on your back.
I know.
Anyways, for the recap, we're going to turn that over to Jace, because he decided to trap Asher last time.
Oh, bloody hell. Well, we started off last session with Jace currently disarmed. Since I'm doing the recap, puns are coming. And Asher had run off, taking...
stole. IDDoThings tipped $10, Razim coins.
Ido, thank you so much for that tip. That is the first tier of the tip goal completed.
While Jace tried to rest, Asher was going to run off after packing his bags, making Jace think that he might actually be going after to do another mission behind his back, so he ended up sending Haboku with to make sure that he at least has somebody with them, which led to Riv learning that they're running off, which led to Kotora carrying Riv after Asher and Haboku, who ended up just shopping and picking up materials for a replacement arm for Jace. And when they got back, they decided to go ahead and put the arm on him right then, right after removing his arm. So, yay! At which point, Kotora and Riv went to sleep. Fulgar proceeded to go ahead and start poking through his bag and found the two rings that identify each other. Gave one to Jace in a note, but Jace is a little bit out of it right now, so we'll read that note later. Asher then found out that there was a train leaving the station that could take us back to our base town, and tried to wake everybody up immediately, which resulted with Jace trapping the poor Asher underneath him so that way he could finally get a nap in. And I believe that is literally the whole session. I'm not sure too many other things happened.
I mean,
It was a lot of it was an intense arm session.
Haboku got a dagger.
All right,
Haboku did
Haboku
get
got a
a-
dagger.
Little mouth dagger that they can use.
Volker witnessed an operation.
Folger saw things Folger should not have seen.
Yeah.
No one bought anything else at the shops, unfortunately. There were so many things to buy.
I mean, without a
You are the
list, it's
shops.
kind of hard for us to really decide what we want to buy unless we've got a specific thing in mind.
That's fair. If you think of stuff you would like to buy in shops, you can always see if it's there.
And yes, most of the party's asleep.
Everyone is there. Actually, that's kind of that's how we start the session. Is everyone's asleep.
Not Asher.
No,
Volker's awake.
No, Azure is just screaming out loud, and Kotora ended up throwing a pillow at him.
And Asher has a bodyguard, so
Gimund
he's still
underscore
screaming.
$10. And now Choo Choo Time, sponsored by Tradition and Tales for the Rails.
Thank you
I'll-
for
I'll
the tip
also-
as well, Gimund.
Just to put this out there, I managed to get through intro without getting interrupted every half second. Haha.
That is the second tier of the tip goal completed.
I will say, Haboku probably is still awake as well. He was outside talking to the train on before it left.
Yeah, you were talking to the train mon all the way up until they ended, until they left. By the way, the Trailmon is in this one, so it is Trailmon. Their name is Tetsudo. And I will put that in the chat.
Yeah, right.
Boop. And Trailmon. Tetsudo. But with everyone else being asleep, Ashley, you're behind a shield at the moment and being held very tight from the shield arm which you created yourself.
Asher
We ended
will
with the
remember this grave injustice.
And with the train heading off, you know you have the next 4 hours until it leaves again. It is currently about 4 p.m.
Screaming.
Very muffled screaming. You've designed the shield to be very, very well off. But, you do have the next 4 hours of being away. Haboku, you would make your way inside. You would have any full access to the tavern. You know that the train won't be back for another 4 hours, so you are basically free to do what you would like. What do you think Haboku would do over a course of some alone time for once?
This is actually from like a few sessions ago, one or two,
Mhm.
give or take. But he would be looking for the Kanbaman or he'd been listening to earlier. Just curious to see how they were doing.
Which one?
The Kamaman, the turtles.
Oh, yeah. So you would see. Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you first. You see a series, or a set of the Kamamon, and they're still in the tavern. As you were only out there for like 30 minutes, as you were talking to the train as it was departing. But you come back inside, and the Kamamon seem to still be there. The few of them you see a few now what was once full plates are now empty plates, as well as a few glasses that have yet to be taken off of the table. It seems that they have already had their fill, and they seem to still just be talking in general.
This is the dankest dungeon.
Ren underscores L59 tipped $5.29. I forgot to buy it.
Thank you for the tip, Ren.
It is halfway to the tip goal.
Okay, more Cursed Rain fan art coming tomorrow.
But yes, you see the Gimund there. They seem to not really care who really much is listening. As you see, they're a little bit louder than they were before. You can guess it's most likely the liquid courage, as some call it, but they seem to be complaining about this state of the forest biome, and they mentioned about how the whole area seems to almost be in lockdown, and they seem to be complaining about whatever guardian they mention. You catch, as you kind of listen a few times, you manage to catch the name of the guardian of that forest. And let me double check to make sure. I have it is Ritsu. Ritsu is the name of the guardian of the forest. And they seem to be complaining about them and how they mention stuff about it's kind of hard to catch fully because they seem to be talking over each other a lot, but they seem to mention about how they think that the guardian is doing an awful job in the forest and is actually becoming even worse than anything else could do.
All right, noted. Haboku really probably wouldn't intrude on their conversation much, as he was just curious as about what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I think he does remember Jace saying something particularly negative about of the forest garden in particular, so this is probably what he's hearing is probably a further other cementing anything what Jace had earlier said in Haboku's mind.
And I think you'd remember that Jay specifically was mentioning how they didn't want to go see the guardian of the statue of the forest guardian, as you mentioned. I think Dries was mentioning that they weren't a really great guy.
Jay specifically spat at the statue.
But you have a few hours there, Boku. What do you do? Would you just sit and eat for the next few hours and chill downstairs? You can also go check in on the group. If you try checking in on Kotora's room, you see a lot of sleeping people.
Well, if Olger's still out and about, Haboku might poke him a few times just to see how he's doing.
Yeah, Fulgur, did you actually did you end up going to sleep with everyone else, or did you want to explore a little bit?
He's definitely still awake. Question is, where would he be right now?
You know that Kotora and Riv are completely knocked out, and it would probably definitely not want to probably intrude on their sleep. You would know that Jace and Asher would be essentially together in the other room, and that would leave you and Haboku, who is not to be seen upstairs.
Well, I'm sure he would know Jason Archer are together. Or the loud no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
He's
Where would
probably
Fulgur
at
like
the
to go?
he's probably at the end table upstairs.
As you're at the end table, you would kind of see out the window. It's mostly, there isn't too much of a street between it and the next building, but there's at least a decent enough pathway. As you kind of end up people watching, or in this case, Digimon watching, you see a few people that seem to come and go around through essentially in between the buildings, but it's very few and far between, as most people go north to south through the town instead of east to west or west to east. And I need to pull up someone's sheet. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And after some time would pass, you would essentially just kind of watch out and see the different people. Haboku, you would eventually, if you were to make your way upstairs, you would see Folger sitting at one of the end tables, or the end table of the hallway.
Haboku's gonna give him a chipper wave. Hi, Fulker.
Hi.
Drink guy said he wouldn't be back for... Haboku will pause. 4-ish hours, I think. Yeah, 4. You know where Asher went? He went inside really fast, but he hasn't come out yet.
Walker's just gonna point at Jace's room.
Oh, okay. Thank you. How are you, by the way?
Fine.
It's good. Haboku will sit beside him. Are you still nervous?
Yeah.
You notice a bit more of a solemn mood in Haboku's face now.
As bad as earlier.
You're gonna need to
No.
speak up a bit. I think that cut out.
Not as bad as earlier.
Well, happy it's better now. Don't worry, everyone here on the team aims a good friend.
Oh. How's Arcus been?
Oh, Arcus has been great.
He gives a nervous smile. But you do notice his expressions seem to be a lot more rigid than Arcus.
Haboku probably would be a bit too dense currently to really understand what that meant. Right now, oh, he's in and make like Fulgur feel happy mode. Yeah, he's been really friendly since we first met.
that, that's good.
Do you remember what he was like back before? Haboku tries to gesture without openly mentioning the glitch.
Always loved to run to get his energy out.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot like him now. Jace doesn't really like that though.
Yeah. Our dad didn't really like it either, but we came up with some strategies, but I don't think Arcus remembers them.
Hello, I am here.
Hell!
Hello here.
Dab.
We're having important Folger backstory. They just mentioned their dad.
Cool, I am listening. What I just said, I'm listening. Go on.
You have the two socially awkward people sitting at a table together trying to have a conversation.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, one socially awkward, or the other socially inept, I believe.
Yep.
We'll say, Asher, give me an acrobatics or athletics check. As Jace is fall asleep, let's see if you can get out of the clutches of the dragon.
Oh, we gotta roll opposed acrobatics.
Yeah. You're sleeping, so we'll give him another chance. Two.
You can beat that,
See-
right, Asher?
Nope.
No.
That's fine. He's got a backup plan. Asher's gonna
The,
deconstruct the bed.
Certainly, give a defect refrag to see how fast you're able to defect the bed, and how smoothly you can do it.
I mean, he doesn't really care that much about smooth, but
Well, right.
ones
He's
are
trying.
really against me.
I would
Look,
say
I
after
think Asher's just getting hit with enforced nap time, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. Mandatory nap time engaged.
you realize that the shield is actually data blocking technology.
Oh no, Asher, you made it a little too well.
You gave me an antivirus shield. You gave me Windows Defender.
Oh,
Jose, as you try to defect, it's like it's hard to focus with it being right next to Jace. I would say over the course, you kind of start to hear the bed frame snap a little bit. But if I'm not mistaken, isn't Jace's bed still on the floor from when you crashed it to the floor last time?
This is in the tavern, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I don't think they ever repaired. Was it? Did you put their bed on the ground here, or was it at the other place that you put their?
It was the other place.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
thank God, there's still
bad.
bed supports. Well, there was bed supports. After 2 hours, the bed supports break. Jace is quickly jolted down as the sudden weight of the support beams come crashing down, and as it bounces, essentially, like the whole bed kind of bounces off the ground once, and as you are essentially bounced up, the arm is released just enough from you that you're able to escape after 2 hours.
Well, he is fervently going to escape. And he is grumpy and just going to start walking back to the main town.
Certainly, what would you like to take with you?
Oh, I mean, if Folger and Haboku are still out there, they're welcome to come with him, but
I'd say you'd be able. I would say there should be at the time where they're talking to each other.
Jace will peel himself up now since the bed's destroyed and grunt. All right, nap time's over.
You did get the benefits of a short rest.
Woohoo, I have more than 1 HP.
Oh, hey, Asher. The train guy left.
I'm aware. So I'm just gonna walk it.
Oh, he said he'd be back. It's... How long has it been?
2 hours.
Haboku attempts to do mental math. Do I need to roll that?
Give me just a percentile die.
Oh no.
You remember that it's 4 hours, but you're not really too sure if the time and everything. But you do remember that it was every 4 hours. But you're not really too sure how many hours are between now and then.
So he comes every 4 hours. I mean, 2 hours have passed.
Well, then I guess since I've already waited 2 hours, I will wait another 2. For now, I'm going to be a problem. And he is stalking out of the inn.
I don't think that's. Oh, he's gone.
Haboku is still trying to math inside of his head right now to really process with this Asher's bad mood.
As you make your way out of the tavern, you notice that it's getting around that kind of 6 p.m.-ish time. A lot of the people, a lot of the vendors, about half of them seem to be mostly closed up, the other half still peddling nighttime wares. There's a few people in the street that seem to be peddling sleep aids to this, to that, all sorts of different things that seem to be peddling around. Most of the people in the town seem to have mostly retired to the various taverns. If you were to look, you'd see that most of the taverns are very much, uh, very much full of people kind of going in and less people going out. The town itself does have a night light system, so there is enough visitors to see. But it definitely is a lot more of a almost calmer, somber mood at night compared to the very, very rambunctious areas of the morning and afternoon. Jace, you succeed at something.
Oh, vigor, because he needs health back. He was at 1 HP.
Oh, good.
Short rest things.
Good. Would you like to follow Asher out, Jace?
No, Asher or Jace knows better. Asher is going to be extremely grumpy for a while, so instead he's going to go and knock on Kotora's and Riv's door to wake them up so that way they can get packed.
We'll have this interaction, and then I'll let Asher explore the town a little bit. Jason, oh no, Jason, Kotora, you hear knocking on the door. Rev, you also hear knocking on the door.
Kotora blinks. Yeah. Who's knocking?
It's me.
Oh, Jace. Are you? What's up?
You might want to get packed. We can take a train to get back home.
Oh, the
Yeah,
the train is back online.
yeah, it'll be here in about 2 hours or something like that.
Oh.
Asher was trying to get us to take an earlier one, but I made him force nap.
Thank you. I swear, your son doesn't realize that other people get tired.
It's one of those things. You always got to be on the move out there.
Hmm.
Wait,
Long
did I
story.
really had the data for the ground?
What?
Rib is like just face down into like a pillow, and he isn't turning to talk.
But yeah, take some time to get packed up. I don't know what that was about the ground. I'm gonna take Haboku and I guess Folger outside. We'll probably just go for a walk or something.
Okay.
Try and catch up with Asher before he gets into too much trouble.
Hopefully he doesn't.
Oh, he'll get in all sorts of trouble. I mean, he's an adult now, so if he does something too dumb, it's on him.
I mean, I think it will still look back on. It will still look bad on you, unfortunately.
That already looked bad. Have you seen my face?
I don't think your face is that bad.
Kotora unintentionally admitting that he finds Jace ugly.
Not that bad.
Don't worry about it. Hey, Haboku, Fulgur, you guys want to go for a walk and make sure Asher doesn't get into too much trouble? Like we'll catch up with him anytime soon, but...
Was Asher here earlier by any chance?
Yeah, you threw a pillow at him.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. He was freaking screaming for no reason.
He was screaming because I laid on him. Forced nap.
Oh, okay. That's what that was. Yeah. Are you all right there, Fogger?
Yeah.
Would you be okay going out with Jace, or would you rather stay here?
I'll go out.
Okay. It might do you some good.
By the way, does Folger still have the blanket?
Yes, he does.
We might want to take that off.
But it's comfy.
If you let us put it back because it's not ours, I'll carry you. Or do what I used to do when Asher was a kid and let you ride on my head.
I'll take it off. And Volker starts taking off the blanket. And puts it back in the room. And starts heading towards the door to the tavern and waits for the others.
Alright. Coming with Haboku?
Yeah, you probably didn't notice, but Haboku probably perked up excitedly at the mention of going for a walk.
That's what I figured. I'm taking the children out to burn energy before we have to go on a train.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kotora is going to turn around to look at Rib and just he's going to like he's going to try and shaking a little bit and just ask, "Hey Rib, can you wake up, or should I pack your stuff for you?"
I'm awake, man. I'm not moving.
Uh, say that again. Say that again, bro. Bro.
I'm awake, but I'm not moving.
Oh, okay. I'll help you there then. Actually, hmm. Give me a moment. I'm going to go see if there's anything I can go and give you to help you with this. You're just mighty exhausted.
Time to introduce caffeine, the biggest drug to the universe.
Kotora is not giving Rib caffeine.
Either it works and he has an entirely different problem, or he has someone that's extremely tired but fast.
Yes.
You're just still slowly getting addicted to caffeine.
Should totally give Riv energy drinks and see what happens.
It removes 5 exhaustion now, but gives you 6 exhaustion 5 hours from now.
Yeah, that checks.
Which means then you have to drink another one to remove those 5 exhaustion, and then you get 6 more later, and then you're only in a net positive of 2. So clearly you need to drink more of it, so you're no longer a net.
Yeah, obviously.
You'll sleep it off one day.
Riv drinks an energy drink. He's in the library for the next 5 hours.
That's a pretty good low ball.
I know what I'm gonna do. Kotora is going to take the always warm box that he hasn't given to Rib yet, and he's gonna go down into the kitchen, and he's just going to cook something for Rib that he's going to put inside of that box. So that when Rib can move, he can actually eat it.
Wait, what kind of food you making today? You got anything in mind?
One moment.
Certainly. You were momentarily left alone in your room, Riv.
This means nothing to him right now.
Oh, I'm not gonna take the window.
Time is an illusion.
Someone take the window.
Look, time is an illusion when you have 10 exhaustion.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
yeah, go ahead and move onto another Zim.
Asher, you are outside the tavern, and this is a little bit before everyone kind of starts making their way out to you. Where would you like to go in town?
He is grumpy and wants to be a problem.
There is some festival games if you'd like to try out your energy through festival games.
There's just random festival games?
Well, you did just save an entire town. So they're kind of doing a very extended festival at the moment. Thanks to the town being saved, which was only like 2 days ago or like a day ago.
So
there's
they're
small
having a
festival
party,
in
but they're
town.
making it fancy.
Yeah, it's a tourist festival kind of thing.
They're having a party, but capitalism got involved.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
You know what? Sure. Asher's gonna go do some festival games.
Let's see. You see some floating ducks in a pond. You see a big old hammer game. You see a few balloon popping games, and even a bean toss, and mini golf.
Asher
And
will
a
just
shooting
go
game.
through them one by one.
Certainly. Let's test your luck at the duck game first. Give me a percentile for pure luck. Okay. As you reach down, as you're kind of like trying to see what's around, you get tempted over to one of the carnival games with the ducks. You pick up, you realize it says number 39, And with that, they give you they kind of look around some of the prizes. They say, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get the big prizes, but they give you a cotton candy. 2 sticks of it, actually, of cotton candy.
What color?
One is yellow and the other is blue.
Ah. So they're hoping that he'll eat them both, and then they'll combine to make poison in his stomach. I see.
Should have stuck with the classic pink and blue, folks.
And if you want to, you could try giving a body brawl to see how well you can hit the hammer game.
Why not? Of course, this I rolled somewhat well on.
As you're able to get it, luckily for this game, it's not about just hitting as hard as possible. You have to hit it just right. And with you hitting it in just enough of the middle ding, you see the few claps of people around you, and you are handed a tiny stuffed Agumon. You have now acquired tiny stuffed Agumon to inventory.
Hopefully that stuff Agumon is not sentient. There's a bunch of teddy bear Digimon.
It seems to be inanimate for now.
He will move on to the next.
And then you can go ahead and give me a let's see, what would be a good one. Give me a mind marksman to see how mind expertise marksman to see how well you can do the shooting game.
Well, if it's a physical thing, then it would be body.
You can use body.
Doesn't matter much for him, but just saying for future. Because he's got 2 dots in both.
Decently enough. As you're able to hit, you're not really able to get all of them within the time frame listed, but as you kind of manage to line up, you're able to hit the various balloons with the dots, and you are actually given a small keychain. But on the keychain, it is actually a image of Kino, the Weregarurumon from the main town. It's a little bit of a chibi version of it. It's clearly not. It's supposed to be more cute, as it's more of like a chibi version of the Weregarurumon, but it looks adorable.
Aww.
He will attach it to his bag and move to the next. He is still glowering at everyone.
Let's see, and then the last one will be a memory game. So with this one, let's see here. Let's do a mind expertise insight for a memory game.
Turns out he's very good at this.
The memory game is where you truly excel. And with this one, after essentially you see a bunch of different Digimon, like a bunch of different symbols of Digimon that all seem to kind of pop up. And within about 3 seconds, all of them go completely blank as they kind of flip around to the other side. And in the amount of time it takes you to essentially remember those in those 3 seconds you're given, you're able to accurately pinpoint basically where all of the Digimon are. And in return, you get an even bigger one. One of the bigger prizes is a life-sized replica of a Gatomon with a little ring on the tail. It seems to be very replica of the Gatomon that is in the major city. So you have a cat plush, essentially.
Cute.
But you have a cat plush to a dog.
It'll make a
Says,
good
"Do
chew
not
toy."
eat.
He does not show any sign of happiness whatsoever. He just takes it and stuffs it into his bag the best he can.
And with that, the rest of everyone else, you have now made your way outside of town. Oh no, sorry, outside of the inn. Asher is nowhere to be in sight immediately, but there does seem to be a few bits of festival music playing, as well as some dancing in front of the Guardian Museum, and a few of the festival games seem to be having their share of tourism.
No sign of Asher. All right. Shall we go for a walk?
What's that over there? As Folker's pointing to the museum.
Oh, museum of some form. It's got a bunch of guardians in there. Statues and information about other towns and cities and stuff. It's a tourist trap. Nothing you can't learn by going to the library.
I remember Arcus being upset when he went to the one and for his home. Something about taking something from his father.
Folker's gonna look towards Haboku then. What?
Can we go to the museum so we can show him, Jace? We took Arcus, but technically it's different now.
Jace rolls his eyes. I guess as long as we stay away from the forest biome, I don't want to see that jerk's face.
Not many people seem to like him, I notice. Haboku says that, remembering the compliment from earlier.
It's a long story. When we finally sit down to discuss things, I will explain more, but just say that he's an asshole. He's taken the whole pack mentality to the extreme. And then there's the other things too. Let's go. Maybe we'll see Asher along the way. Otherwise, let's make this quick. No more than an hour, okay, guys?
Okay.
Come on, boys. Don't make me put you on a leash.
Haboku is scampering beside Jace, trying not to get too far ahead.
Folker is following alongside Jace.
And I'll say you'll be making your way to the Guardian Museum. Kotora, what did you whip up in the time it took him to do that? What are you whipping up in the kitchen?
I finally decided I'm going to make pot roast.
Okay. With your extended amount of heat, you're able to heat it almost like it's kind of like almost having like a internal temperature that's able to essentially cook it more thoroughly. Go and give me a cooking roll for this.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Oh no!
That's a lot of ones. And I
How you
could,
making these?
I could just get rid of two of those ones.
I'll give you 2 extra dice. I'll say the owner's able to help you with the roast itself. So I'll give it to you. I'll give you the 2 dice for free. So that
Oh,
is going to be 5 in
5.
total.
Yeah.
You're able to make the roast big enough for essentially, as you're trying to think of something that'd be big enough for the entire party to kind of at least hopefully be able to consume, or at least something that would kind of withstand a large amount of meals.
Yeah.
You essentially combine a few different ingredients and you make a roast. You throw in the potatoes, you throw in the leeks, you throw in the carrots, you throw in the onions. You have everything cooking in the pot, simmering in its own gravy as you mix in various salts, peppers, spices, and the like, and just a little touch of soy sauce to the roast itself, creating a delicate fall off essentially of a roast. It kind of almost falls apart in the container itself, but has just enough bite to let you know you're eating something.
Excellent. Enough for Ribbon, enough for the rest of the party. That's good. The Kotora is going to go ahead and put the wrist portion of the meal inside of his box, and then he's just going to set aside the rest of them for when the others are here.
Okay, and you're able to pack it up perfectly nice. As it keeping the warm, you'd imagine that it would keep well. The heat over time only making it softer to essentially fall apart over time as you keep it well warmed in the box itself. And you've successfully cooked all the food necessary for the group. You know that you would have about an hour or so left before, about an hour to an hour and a half left before the train comes again. What would you like to do for that hour and a half?
Yeah, Kotora is going back to his room. He is going to put the box, the always warm box, like right next to Riv, just so that way he's actually off the pillow. He will look at it, and then he's going to begin packing.
Riv, you have the smell of your brother's cooking assaulting your nostrils, really keeping yourself almost in a different it's a different form of almost sense of energy, in a sense that it is that smell of home cooking that really does proceed or pervades through your mind.
Tal, you're there.
And as okay, I'll move on. And as you begin to prepare, you kind of notice everything. You notice that Folger has an extremely large amount of random assortment of things that he never really fully probably organized whenever he was going through. It because especially whenever Folger was going through a lot of the things, it's still kind of in the middle. Do you pack Folger's things for them, or do you let them pack it, or do you think they'll let him pack it themselves?
I think Kotra will just let Fogger do that himself, just because he doesn't want to like misplace something.
You look at Folger's bag, realize that it's almost impossible for anything to be misplaced because there's no place for anything in the bag. If nothing has its place, it can't be misplaced.
You know what? Fair enough. Kotra will go ahead and just do that for Fogger.
And I would say you'd be able to easily start getting the backpacks put together. As in terms of that, Jace, we got Jace, Haboku, Folger. You all see Asher being handed a life-size stuffed animal of Gatomon over at some sort of memory game. They announced their winning very loud and proud to everyone involved.
Asher is glowering more.
Well, although we can't really blame him. He sees Asher being given a cat.
You also notice that they have a new keychain on their bag, as well as a little stuffed Agumon that seems to be peeking out the back end of their bag.
Oh no, it's definitely very well inside the bag.
Very well deep, very well deep. You just see a little keychain of Kino on the outside of the bag, and then you see Astro stuffing the Gatomon away. The marketable plushie Gatomon.
Nudges Haboku. Do you want to go ask if he wants to come to the museum too? You can tell him I'll let him spit on one of the statues.
Haboku will nod and do just that. But as he bounds over to Asher. Hey Asher, we're gonna go back to the museum. Do you wanna come?
Sir.
Jace told me to tell you you could spit on one of the statues.
He just shrugs at that.
Alright, let's go. Yes, Haboku just bounds back over to Jace.
You have been reunited, father and son.
I fear to know what Asher's going to do in revenge later. But that's later Jay's problems.
Asher is specifically not looking at Jace.
You make your way inside the museum, and with Folger essentially knowing exactly where, or you guys know exactly where Folger would want to go, you make your way over to the ice region of the towns, or of the museum, and you are located, and it even mentions the word Koi, which is the town most attuned to the, or kind of the main hub of the ice realm. And inside you see what looks to be a very tall statue, very dignified looking statue of a sorcerermon named Matsu.
So, you mentioned something taken?
As you look upon the statue, you notice that the head of the staff seems to be almost glitched out in a way, as it seems it's like almost like vandalized through glitch itself, as their staff, upon closer look, appears to be missing and pixelated, as if it doesn't exist there at all.
Folker's gonna look. Oh.
Yeah. Arcus was really upset by that.
Yeah. I'm not very happy about that either.
Haboku is kind of just looking at all the other statues that kind of been lost something. Yeah, neither am I.
Mm. Is there any way to fix it?
We'd have to know who did it first. I'm sure the town will get it.
Haboku more or less just sags his head at fix it, at the phrase is fix it. Because he wants to fix it, but he doesn't know how.
Hmm.
Also, you take some time to kind of get lost in thought at it, as you do kind of have the memory. The memories of this is definitely far something that you would have full memories of. This isn't just obviously your dad, but it also is Arcus's, and you do feel a sense of weight that is both from you, but also from them as well. It is almost like the feeling of almost a shared sorrow with Arcus itself, as you can feel their emotions as well in this, with you basically being able to feel that sense of loss almost twofold, as you kind of sense then, as you're looking at essentially a statue.
Yeah, this doesn't feel great.
Yeah, well, that's why we're all working to help stop this, right?
Yeah. And Folker's just kind of now looking at the basically plaque.
And as you read the details of the plaque, it mentions about how the Sorcerermon Matsu once saved an entire town, essentially from a snowstorm by creating a dome that not only stopped the town from being completely covered by both an avalanche as well as a snowstorm, but also managed to create essentially a dome around it that even to this day still stands in almost opposition to the weather itself. People can even say that at the dome itself, anyone who enters can almost feel almost that sense of warmth that came from the town's rescue. And then it also mentions about another town that was saved whenever there was a huge essentially whenever it got super cold at one point, the weather began to turn all the crops to ice, something that normally they'd be able to handle. But with the Sorcerermon's power, they were able to keep the vegetation from freezing over, and not only restoring it, but also putting a sense of themselves in the vegetables to grow. And now now one of the biggest exports of the ice area actually is the fruits of the fields that the Sorcerermon essentially enchanted themselves.
Wow. Dad did a lot more than I thought.
Your dad sounds cooler than the forest guy.
I don't really know about this forest guy, but yeah. He, Dad doesn't really talk much about himself. At least in, like, aspects like this. And Olger seems to be a lot more, happy, I guess.
Give me a mind perception check, Folger.
Okay. Let's see.
See how you spot some things.
Still.
Instinct or empathetic would also work.
Empathic.
Or logic. Oh. Empathetic. Oh, yes. Empathic.
Do we need to start making a
Okay.
counter for that as well?
Okay. I really need to just get like a keybind for this command instead of keep copying and pasting it.
The fancy command.
Yeah.
So, as you're kind of looking around the room itself, especially because you're kind of like looking around, you see not only the social mom, but you do kind of see some of the other guardians as well. You notice a solo Garmon statue that actually has the word Haboku on the plaque. It catches your eye at first as you're still kind of learning your teammates, and the name similarity at first was you were trying to just kind of look in because it was a little bit curious, and then you look fully and it seems to be it seems to be Haboku, with a statue of, like I said, the Solar Gomon seem to be standing tall and proud.
Holger's gonna literally bolt over to that plaque for a second.
Haboku will blink, a bit confused, but follow him.
Asher's following as well.
Field trip in the museum.
Volker's gonna start reading Haboku? This plaque?
As you begin to read the plaque, it mentions that they are one of the primary guardians of a far-off place called Peak's Refuge. It mentions mostly a history of them essentially coming down from Peak's Refuge to essentially find themselves as a guardian, as well as to provide guardian services to various towns in trouble. It even mentions the history of their interaction with this town, as it mentions once long ago, the Haboku, the Solar Garmon, actually came during a great famine of the due to a bandits, and how there was essentially a huge amount of bandit presence here in Sashin. And it mentions about Haboku was able to essentially get rid of the bandit problem, as well as help with the town's rebuilding efforts of the due to the famine, mostly due to the chaos that was caused by the local gang, even doing enough to toppling the mafia boss that was controlling the town at that time, allowing the town to be rebuilt in a more peaceful and mayoral sense of essentially establishment.
Volker's now just going to look from the plaque to Haboku, back to the plaque to Haboku.
Huh. You know, that makes sense.
What does? You're just getting a blank head tilt from Haboku.
Well, of course, the god of death would need his minion to be just as impressive.
Should Haboku roll something to see if this sparks any memory?
You can either do a percentile, or you can do like a mind. What was that? Mind expertise lore check.
More on instinct, but I think I'll go empathic. Seems like it makes the most sense for this sort of role.
Yeah.
Well, dang. Well, I'll see if I can solve this one.
Oh yeah.
But
You remember the Barbamon mentioning something about essentially coming to town to save it. You do remember the Barbamon specifically mentioning that they knew you guys would come, that because you defended the town last time there was a problem, and that you were back again. But the memory seems to be more of essentially the words of the Barbamon more than your own memories of the events. It seems more like you're just remembering what the Barbamon said about you.
Haboku will just tilt his head. She said this was me, but he's clearly having a trouble trying. Like, he does feel the connection, but he doesn't understand it quite well.
Are you a guardian?
I like to help others. Haboku's ears will kind of flatten and well, flatten a bit more her beneath his hood as he just as mutters, "I don't remember much."
Now,
I know something was taken from me. He taps a bit under his hood. And it might be the reason I can't remember.
oh, let's hope not. That's a weird thing to take. We'll figure it out, huh?
Haboku will nod. He looks a bit more determined at that, but there's still like a bit of confusion in his eyes as he's looking in between himself and the statue who the guardian version of himself.
You do find yourself standing just a little bit taller as you look up to the solo Gormon in their full statue. You just find yourself standing up a little bit more straighter than you usually would.
If that was me, glad I was doing some good at least.
Yeah. As Fulgur is now next to Haboku and patting their head.
Pat, 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 pat.
Or something to live up to, at least, right?
We'll get a nod.
Nope, my minion is definitely a guardian. Even guardians bow before my might. Yeah.
Fulgur, give me a percentile die, Fulgur. You do notice one there is actually no one else really seemed to pay much mind to it. But there is actually one other, well, not really statue. It seems to be a marble block. It seems to be of the same rock that all of the other statues are made of, but but it doesn't seem like it's actually made of anything. Or it hasn't been carved out yet. It seems almost like a placeholder for something, and there does seem to be a plaque out front, though the plaque itself is empty with a single, kind of like a more permanent note attached to it.
Olger's gonna go over to it.
As your curiosity kind of takes over a little bit, you see this marble statue. It says on the note itself that it mentions that this is a placeholder. It mentions that there's currently research being done for and you kind of look at the note itself. It seems that as you're reading it over, it seems to be a placeholder for essentially what is referred to as the Great.
Bestowal.
Ooh.
The
Mr.
great
Dragon
generous spoil.
114.
Yeah.
$10.
Mr. Dragon, thank you so much for that tip. That is the third tier of the tip goal completed. On to the last.
Okay, and as you're reading the plaque, it mentions about how it is something called the Grand Scales, mentioning about the god of the underworld, and it just mentions how there's not much known about the god of the underworld at the moment, but due to the fact that it is a guardian, it does still earn the respect of the museum, but without more information, they unfortunately can't provide a statue of its likeness until they have figured out who the god of the underworld is. The marble itself, in its pure, pristine form, is essentially reverence to the guardian itself. Though the image says that the image inside the stone will one day be found, but at the moment, it is still stuck within its rock and walls.
Can Folger now, like, examine the stone itself?
As you examine the stone, it definitely, like I say, it seems very much of the same rock cut of all the others. You can't really get too much of it, as it seems to be almost like a perfectly square block, but it seems like it is essentially the same height as all the others. It looks like they're essentially at the moment trying to figure out who the god of the underworld is so that they can properly pay respects to them, but without any knowledge of it, they unfortunately can't.
Uh-huh. An unknown guardian?
Well, I mean, I am the god of death, so they should just put me in there. I'm the one that should go there.
Okay. You know what? I'm not going to argue anything today.
You notice the marble is like 5 times taller than Asher, if not 6 to 7 times taller than Asher.
I mean, so Lugermont and
Yeah.
Lugermont, and probably has a big difference there too.
Yeah.
Folger's just gonna look at Asher for a sec, look back at the marble. And then,
Asher's striking a pose.
So, where should we go next?
How long to the train? Haboku was looking at Jace and Asher.
Probably back to the hotel room. They've got to be ready about now, right?
You hear someone announce the museum is closing in 10 minutes, and it closes at 7.
We should probably also grab something to eat. I'm sure her food on the train is stupidly expensive.
Expensive?
Yeah.
I've never ridden on a train.
Well, you're about to.
Oh, I need to go pack my things then.
Yep, let's get going.
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta read that note you gave me too. Let's get going.
Then Fulgur starts basically jogging alongside Jace.
What was Haboku
I think
saying?
you'll make.
He was just saying that pose looked really good, Asher.
Yeah, too bad they won't do it. They don't accept me yet. I will make them.
I'd say you'll be able to make it back to the tavern by about 7 o'clock itself. Since you'd be able to make it to the rooms at 7, you know that you'd have about an hour left before the train leaves. Reminder, an hour left before the train leaves. Oh, and Fulgur, you would notice that your backpack, as you were to go in your room, your backpack seems to be pre-packed by Kotora.
Fulgur's gonna he's gonna look at Kotora for a second.
Cut.
Did you? As he's pointing at the bag.
Oh yeah, I put the stuff. I put the stuff inside your bag.
You didn't read any of the notes, did you? As he's like scratching the back of his head.
Kotora tilts his head. No, why would I?
Oh. Okay. There,
Something
bad.
Bad? What's the matter?
He's just gonna look to the side with like a depressed look.
Kotora kind of just nods his head up and down, kind of understanding for a moment. Oh, okay. I kind of get it. Hey. If you're back, that means everybody else is back, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Now that I think of it, I'm not sure if you like what I ended up making, but I can whatchamacallit, I can get it. I can get it. I can get a color for you if it needs be. And where is everybody else?
Downstairs, I think.
Why don't you come with me then? I prepare food for you all.
Okay. And Fulgur's then gonna look to the bed. Is Riv still there?
I would imagine so, yes.
You are really far from your mic, Tal.
Yeah, I was trying to be distant, but yeah, he is definitely still there, yeah.
It still hasn't moved. I imagine. Has did he reacted at all when Kotora left a lunchbox in front of him?
Nah, probably not. Especially
Oh, fuck.
because he's just doing the whole. I don't know how to. What's the best way to describe it? He's acknowledging that things are happening. He's just not doing anything to like interact with the things that are happening.
He is conscious, but he's not there. I get it.
The world is moving
Okay.
around him.
Riv is extremely exhausted.
Oh.
Yeah. He kind of, but he did something that ended up sapping a lot of his energy, and then all this stuff that happened earlier also ended up doing that as well. And then I gave him a ride through half of town earlier. He just needs to rest.
Sounds like what Arcus would do with me.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'm sure. Was Argus the one taking care of you?
Hmm. We would go exploring together.
That's pretty much what me and Rip used to do before all of this before this whole thing started. Maybe once all the issues have been dealt with, if it's any time soon, perhaps we could all go exploring together.
Yeah. And Arcus is gonna, Folger's gonna put his bag back on his back. He seriously still don't know how Arcus managed to get a backpack with all these quills. So hard sometimes.
I don't know either, but he just seems to be the kind of Digimon that likes collecting stuff.
Yep.
Alrighty, come on. Kotora is gonna head with Folder downstairs to meet with the rest.
And Folger's gonna follow behind.
By the way, are you going to keep that blanket wrapped around you this entire time?
He hasn't had the blanket in a while.
Yeah, he
you
took
got
off
it.
the blanket before he left.
Oh, okay. Whoops, never mind.
But yeah, as you make your way downstairs, you would see the rest of them essentially grabbing food downstairs. You'd imagine that it's getting very, very close to time. As if you would ask anyone, they'd say that it would be shortly here in the next 15 minutes or so. The Trayvon should be getting ready to have everyone getting ready to start boarding. There's even an announcement in the tavern as you hear 1 hour till boarding for the town, last boarding of the night.
Guys, what are you getting?
Just something quick.
I made you guys some food.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just didn't want to order food on the train, as it was going to be stupid expensive.
I was waiting for you guys to come back to surprise you guys with that. Well, it seems that it's coming back in an hour. I think there should be time for us to eat. I met Pot Rose.
Yeah, it should be enough time. How far away is the train station, Asher?
Oh, Asher didn't go back to the inn. He went straight to where the train mon is arrived last.
I believe he was
Wow.
literally just outside the inn. As I heard.
You find the Trailmon tracks from where they've been going, where they came in and then left. There's a clear patch of ground that kind of indicates it, and now with the Trailmon there, you see a very hastily put together kind of wall just to block off the area where essentially the Trailmon is going to be, just to help people indicate where that is. You see a few of the people waiting outside as well. They seem to be waiting mostly up against the walls of the taverns. They seem to be kind of just sitting up against the walls waiting for the Trailmon to show back up again.
Haboku, do you know where the train station is?
Well, I know we just heard him outside. I didn't follow out him from there. He wasn't that far away.
Okay.
Kotora just gives a bit of a sigh. I swear that guy. Okay, I guess I'll just ask Miss Winry to help me pack those up. We can eat out of the train.
Kotora?
Yes.
I actually think I would like this cold.
I figure. I'll get it called it up for you.
Thank you. And he hands Holger hands Kotora his food to be chilled.
Yeah. Kotora is gonna go ahead and get Fulgur's portion of his food chilled, and the rest pack them up.
And as you're doing that, the rest of you guys can eat. You would eventually, after some time, hear the sounds of the horns that seem to be blaring from the outside as you all hear the train choo-chooing its way to town in full force. It is audible no matter where you are in the inn. It is announcing itself loud and prouder than you could ever imagine the Trailmon could ever be.
Oh, there he is. I think he was really loud the first time he came here too.
All right, let's get over there.
Okay. Kotora is handing Jace the to-go food, and Kotora is gonna go ahead and pick up Rev.
Riv,
Hey.
you've been
Oh my god,
acquired.
that is amazing, Ido.
What did I do?
Yeah, I'll
Bringing
put
it
in
up.
chat.
By the way, do make sure that you send me in DMs the any art, because I think last week you drew some fan art and I missed it because I don't watch the specific chat. But apparently Ida was ironically doodling this during the museum scene.
Yeah,
Cute.
Aww.
Very puny god.
the dramatic pose of the small god.
Yes.
love it.
It's great.
Right, you do.
Yeah, I would say you'd be able to get all the stuff packed and everything. There wouldn't be any issues. It stays in town for a decent amount. Asher, you would see people essentially going in and out of the train, obviously out first and in shortly after. You do notice on top of the train, there does seem to be what looks to be a flymon of some sort, sitting atop the train, almost looking down at everyone. You'd imagine that whatever it is seems to be trying to defend the train, as it seems very vigilant as it looks around.
Asher's getting on.
As you go up to the front, you actually see a what I might have to post the image in chat, but it is I might butcher this name, but a Turimon. Turimon. It is a Digimon that seems to be taking various money from the townsfolk. As it mentions, it is 5 bytes to ride the train to town. As you were stopped and asked to pay the 5 byte fee.
Asher will sigh. I don't have any money. Guess I'm just walking.
And if you have he kind of looks, well, if you, like, so we're going to be here for the next 30 minutes or so. If you have any way, if you can always ask for a loan from maybe one of the townsfolk, maybe the innkeepers, if you've been really good and been a really good patron, maybe they might loan you some 5 bytes. It's not too much for the train. I'll cut you a deal for 4 if you're really hard on times.
Is the rest of the party there, by the way? Or are we like heading there?
You're essentially heading there at this moment.
Asher's just going to shake his head. No, I'll just walk. And he is going to start doing just that. At a fast pace, because he wants to get there sooner rather than later.
The rest of you, I would say Asher makes about a 5-minute head start south of the town. The rest of you would approach as you kind of see a Toyamon that seems to be taking tolls from various people. As they see various money that seems to be exchanging hands. Some change seems to be being doled out. Some larger currency seems to be being broken down into smaller currency, vice versa.
Haboku will probably just wave at the Trailmon then.
You hear the go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming we don't see Asher anywhere.
You don't see them anywhere outside immediately of the general area. No.
All right, now he must have already gotten on or something. Let's get our ticket to get on.
Kotora is going to ask the whatchamacallit. What's the guy that's getting the money?
His actual name is Kurihara.
What's the demon type?
It is a Turiamon. They are a beast man.
Kotora is gonna walk up to the Turamon and just ask if he has seen a Labramon here that was black with red markings.
Oh yes, I remember that guy. I tried to offer him a discount. Though don't really tell people too much, but we're trying to charge 5 bytes to get all the way from here and back to town again. As a tourist town, we haven't really had many people I've had to turn away, but unfortunately they seem to be broke. I'm usually one for charity, but in this case, with the train being essentially brand new back to the town. A lot of people are trying to get on it. I unfortunately had to turn the little dog away. I think they went and headed down to south to go walk to town themselves. I think it was just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Kotora is just like very silent for a moment. You can see the freaking ellipses appearing on top of his head. He's going to look at Jace and just say, "Are you are you for real right now?
What?
What is actually the matter with your son?"
Don't say it like that, please. Use nicer words. Haboku, can you track him down?
Okay.
Here. I give Haboku a bite. Tell him to get back here and get on the train already. And stop being, well, I'll deal with the grumpy.
And let me just double check this. Plus specialty. Ah,
I think you're going to be able to sniff them out.
the bloody ones.
I'd say with that, you'd be able to pick up Asher's scent. If it was more of an unknown scent, no, maybe not. But with this, you know Asher's scent at this point.
Yeah. Hey, wait, Haboku.
Yeah.
Don't go there. Kotora is going to like toss him the admission fee. However much it costs.
I already gave him that.
It's 5
But Kotora
bytes,
just
not 1.
He said
Also,
5
I actually-
bits.
Yeah, no, I accidentally actually it's supposed. I actually messed up the currency. It's actually 5 nibbles. I accidentally put it was supposed to be 5 nibbles, not 5 bytes. I realized that after. 5 nibbles.
Whoops.
Either way, Asher is
I will
0,
know.
so...
Yeah, Asher has 0 currency at the
Yeah,
moment.
so I gave you a whole bite. You should be fine.
Yeah, that'll cover you and Asher.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
Okay,
should
then-
Haboku be able to catch up to Asher here sprinting?
Unless Asher is using full movement speed, then you would be able to catch up in about half the time. So about 5 minutes of probably even I would even say even as low as about 4 minutes of intense jogging, you would be able to find Asher, as they seem to be slowly walking to town with their backpack on their back.
Asher, wait. I have money.
Hey,
I've already borrowed enough, though.
This is from Jace.
Squint.
you're
Alright,
just getting
I
puppy
suppose.
eyes.
I suppose I will come back.
Okay, I think we should hurry back. Heck, I don't know if he's gonna leave soon again.
Well, it's not my fault that he's charging so much. It's not worth 5 bytes to go to town. I could just walk that.
Actually, I think the guy told you something wrong. And it's actually 5 nibbles.
Well, that's a lot more reasonable, but still don't have it.
Haboku's just gonna hand it Trent Asher the bite he got from Jace.
Now you do.
Fair enough.
that conductor are really a 5-way robbery at the God of Death.
Maybe Asher just looked extremely wealthy. So they were trying to charge him 5 bytes, and then they realized, oops, they were actually poor.
Yeah, he's completely broke after putting together a new arm for his dad.
Arms are expensive in this economy.
I mean, at least it only cost an arm and not an arm and a leg.
Actually, you hear Jace make that joke from a distance as you're walking back up to them.
Oh, please don't make him hear that.
So yeah, by the time Haboku and Ashley you make it back, you hear a 15-minute warning bell.
All right, let's get our tickets, guys.
Kotora is gonna hand the guy 10 nibbles for him and Riv.
You kind of see Riv just give like a little thumbs up or something, just to acknowledge that he's been paid for. As you see the Turimon kind of look down over at you, Riv.
Riv will give an acknowledgement. He doesn't look so tired though.
Kotora is just carrying Rib and both of their bags at the same time. He's literally full.
Refresh my
We
memory on the
don't-
conversion rate between
It's just going to be 110 and 100. It's essentially copper, silver, and gold.
Okay.
Nibbles are the copper, so it'd be the cheapest.
Yeah, I was just writing that down to update the sheet properly.
Okay, so
Actually, no, it's the bits.
Nibbles are the
Nibbles.
silver.
Yeah, nibbles
Oh.
are the silver.
Nibbles are the silver? Oh, then I did
Yeah.
that wrong.
We got bit, nibble, and bite. Bits are the super tiny stuff. That's how you can remember. Bits are just like the tiniest of currency. I like to imagine the currency, instead of coins, it's in like little chip form.
Cute.
Yeah, it's kind of like, have you ever seen the like Hex cereal? It's kind of like that. I think it's called Hex cereal. No, it's Chex cereal. That was it.
As we approach to get our tickets, Folger's gonna hide behind Jace and hand Jace a bite so he can use that to pay for his ticket.
All right. I guess I will take the bite and pass it over the guy standing right in front of me. From the guy standing behind me. And pass the ticket and change back to the guy standing behind me.
Yeah.
From the guy standing in front of me.
Usually I prefer to deal with customers directly, but your lot seems to be really generous, paying for each other in one way or another.
Oh, one of them's my kid. Ash, you got your ticket?
Asher will nod.
And Haboku got your ticket?
4, 5. Okay, hey. Haboku will hand the 5 nibbles.
There we go, all aboard, and then you'll see a few others. You see a few of them seem to be kind of impatient in the back line, especially behind you, Folger. You see someone just kind of like doing a really loud sigh, like so much so that their breath almost like tickles the back of your like neck.
Gonna look.
You see a very fancily robed Digimon that seems to be just waiting very impatiently behind you.
All right, let's get inside. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, Folger's gonna bolt inside.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here is my 5 nibbles, and an extra one as a tip for you. Hopefully you can get some of these hooligans on board so we can get back to town already.
I'm walking away from that guy quickly because I don't want to hear anything from this. Nope, done. I'm hurting the children on the train quickly.
Folker's already
way
inside.
too much freaking public trans to listen to that crap.
Asher will very specifically sit right uncomfortably next to this guy.
Jim just kind of like ruffle their very, very expensive fur coat as they just kind of look around. I think the dogs go in the back.
Call my dog or kid a dog again, and it's gonna be problems, buddy.
Huh. 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 You see them thing to thing.
Asher found who's his target for who he's going to cause problems for.
Haboku, would you sit on the other side of him?
Jace is letting this happen. He is going to read the note that Fulgur gave him now, but ignore whatever these two do to this man.
So,
What Digimon are we looking at, by the way?
We're gonna say it's an extremely tall penguinmon.
Ah,
An abnormally tall, fluffy penguinmon.
Asher is going to very specifically sit on this guy's coat and wipe off his paws on it.
Someone get this dog back in the caboose where they belong. Kennels in the back.
I am not just some dog.
Oh, it's one of them talking dogs. Oh. Oh.
I talk too. What do you mean?
He looks down at the second one. Oh. He feigns. He puts his paw on his forehead and feigns fainting again. This is what I get for going to a tourist town.
Oh no, this is what you get for being an asshole.
What exactly? Kotora is just looking weirdly at the Penguinmon. What exactly do you have against dogs?
They run around unleashed like fettered animals. It's obscene to the upholstery of the world.
Asher's looking over at Jace. Can I just take all his data?
You see him just faint backwards again.
Jace just sighs, no murder. But you can make his life hell for the next hour.
Excellent. As he is going to push on the side of him. Come on, we gotta make room for everybody else. Haboku, make sure you get in nice and close here.
Okay, look over. Are you the father of this child?
Oh, look, you remembered that that's a person instead of just an animal. Good for you. First steps in not being racist.
I don't know if that's considered racist, but technically, I guess in this weird Digimon world.
I mean, he insinuated that they're unintelligent animals. That is
fair. You see them just, they just you kind of see them try to pull their coat from both of you. Oh,
Asher is specifically digging his claw in, so if he does pull too hard, it gets ripped.
I knew I should have found some sort of plane or something more advanced with my esteem. I should have been able to find better transport. I should have hired some sort of animal that I could have probably ridden on the back of, and now I'm here. Oh, the Thane of the trouble.
Oh yes, you are a plebeian just like the rest of us. I, for one, am looking forward to this train trip. I mean, I may be a god, but sometimes it's fun to just relax and enjoy a nice train ride. Don't you think so, Haboku?
This is my first time riding a train, I think. By the way, why are you wearing a coat? It's not
trains.
cold.
I mean, I don't know about that, Asher. You were about ready to just walk back.
Well, yes, because I didn't have the money, because I spent all my money on getting Jace a new arm.
Kotora's just looking at you with a blank stare. I have money. Your father has money. Haboku has money. All of us have money.
Yes, but I don't. And I did not want to borrow more. I already owe Haboku 4 bites.
I can't tell whether that's stupid or commendable.
We're
With,
about to
with
go
a-
back and turn in the mission anyway, so we're all about to get paid, right?
Yeah.
With that, a loud horn does blow as everyone kind of begins to feel that emotion of the train, as it almost kind of suddenly does a jolt with everyone. The people who are much more experienced on the train don't seem to even begin to move, but anyone else not experienced on trains, you see them kind of almost do that shove thing where everyone's just kind of like shoved next to each other once, and then they kind of hear a bunch of exchanges of sorries, and the train begins to move in a smooth fashion.
Oh,
Can I
Asher
roll
is
to see
going
if
to
he does that?
specifically make sure that he is pushing hard into this guy. And he's not going to let up even after it starts moving smoother.
Hey, Haboku.
Yes.
Take 4 bites. Jace is just gonna hand it over, and very much over the guy, like he's not even there.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
just
that
see
was
it.
a roll for Haboku to see if he actually was able to keep his ground and rolled
You were
high.
not.
So he probably ends up hitting the Angwimon without
You
realizing.
see the Penguin Mon actually kind of you see the Penguin Mon keeping mostly still, but once Asher pushes him, the Penguin Mon essentially falls onto you a little bit more, and just with a heavens, and you see them do another faint, almost like a faint sigh as they pretend like they're passing out again. My word, you clearly have not been on a train before,
I just said that.
Are
and it
you?
shows.
Well,
Do
yeah.
you? Did you study drama or something, Mr. Penguinmon?
I have been in the pleasurable merchant business for my entire generations of royal family. We don't do any sort of drama. It is a merchant house life. Only
You're a,
one filled with gold and fame and fortune.
you're a merchant? In what wares do you peddle?
Only the most finest of artifacts from various runes of the like. We'd like to find, well, I have a whole
Oh,
team
so you're a
of
grave robber. Got
adventurers.
it.
No, I
It
think it's
is ac-
no, I think he's a quack merchant.
it is acquisitions of
Oh, he's
those no
a...
longer needing to acquire.
Ah, he's a liar. Got it.
It's
Probably some
acquisitions for
mass-produced
those.
thing that he just, says it's one of a kind and then pulls out an exact duplicate as soon as
Yeah.
the person moves on.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm thinking of.
I'll have you know that I employ the most esteemed adventurers to go into undiscovered ruins to find various artifacts, and I think they find themselves paid well, and my mercantile allows them to keep doing their adventuring.
Well,
Sir.
I mean,
y-
if they're paid well, at least that's one reason why they stay with you. It sure as heck is not your attitude.
They do a faint, like they're passing out again.
wow,
Haboku
you
will get
really do
curious.
have a really awful health there if you're painting so much. Here, let me give you a free medical examination. Asher's using defrag refrag.
What would you like to do with your defrag refag?
What was that?
So what would you like to accomplish with your defrag refag?
Oh, he's just doing the scan. This is important enough. I'm gonna soul one of the ones. 3.
You begin to defrag them. You aren't able to get to the body themselves, but you begin to defrag their fanciful coat, exposing their feathers to the world.
You did the X-ray specs on them.
Interesting,
You see-
interesting. You know, you've got a really bad problem there.
Did you just eat my coat?
No, I'm doing a medical examination. But there's a lump right there.
That is a birthmark. Now return my coat this instant.
Your coat's still there. And no,
Your
that is
defrag
definitely not a birthmark. That is a lump. I think you've got cancer.
What? I told you no that I have the finest medical Digimon across all of the realms to do proper checkups on me.
Ah, so
Okay,
it's
okay.
reason. So you still have a chance.
Okay, Asher, I think you might be going too far there.
You see them kind of like almost like with their beak, they kind of see their beak just open up, and these just loud exclamations of exasperation, as well as just these loud exclamations. We gotta get this train down to the town. I have mercantile business in town.
So, Raharu, Asher's response is in the chat.
Is that what he actually does to Kotora when Kotora says that?
Yes.
Just no.
Slow head turn. No.
It hasn't been an hour yet.
Kotora just rolls his eyes.
Oh,
So
the
anyway,
serious
back to
face.
your examination.
Chase is gonna start dishing out the food to people since, you know, we're gonna have some time.
Oh, food!
I hope
He'll release the
I hope
defrag.
I hope you guys like the pop rose.
Oh, I'm going to very much enjoy it. Evil grin.
You see, after you guys finally at least get up enough to get the roast, you see him get up and just in the most cautious way, he ruffles his like whole body feathers.
Hold on.
Almost. Go ahead.
Asher's not moving from his spot.
Oh, you're not getting up to get the roast?
Well, no. Jace was sitting next to Asher.
Jace is dishing it out to people, so you're fine. Oh, lol.
You think Asher's gonna let
see
this
the-
guy go that easily? He is doing a public service by keeping everybody else from having to deal with this guy.
I should
Funnily
have
enough,
taken the fanciful train. Why did I choose 8 p.m.? I should have not stayed for that deal. And now I'm stuck on the more the later train. They always have the hoodlums around the later trains.
Well, joke's on them. They could have left 4 hours ago.
we are not hoodlums. You're just a jerk. We're just reciprocating.
Yeah, just so you know, we literally just saved that whole town. You know that festival going on? Hi, it's because of us.
You see him kind of like, you see him just a little bit. You kind of see him kind of like almost stare into the distance a little bit, kind of stare at you all. As they kind of like, you see him like squint a little bit, stare at Jace, stare at everyone else again. You're telling me that you were the festival heroes?
Yes.
Very much so.
Huh. And you're the reason I was able to get my mercantile back in business in town. Have you ever thought of doing adventuring jobs?
Not for you.
Not for you.
Haboku's just awkwardly backing away, getting some bad vibes from this person. And now,
Asher is very specifically eating the pot roast in a way to make the most mess possible all over the coat.
Usually Kotora would not approve of this, but he's notably not looking angry at this at all. He's just glad that Asher is actually enjoying his food.
Asher is very much enjoying the food. He's just got a show with it.
You eat like one of the barbarians that I hire. Do you know they go around in loincloths dispensing their abs or enough
me
steel
to
to
be
themselves?
quite naughty.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. I love that show.
So you walk around, you eat like the barbarians that I hire. Oh.
Well, you know, the hero business is very hard work, and I haven't been able to eat since yesterday because I've been too busy restoring everybody. I'd like to see you try and do something like that.
You're gonna see them ruffle their own feathers a little bit as they gonna do a little bit of a kind of show. Actually have my own talents, not just in merchantile. I've been in a few ruins in my days. My bodyguard said I handled myself greatly.
Oh yeah, your bodyguards, the ones that did all the work while you stood there and hid behind them when anything went wrong. Got it.
The ones that you paid to, you know. Of course they're not going to say bad about you to your face.
Well, they probably make fun of you behind your back, though.
Oh, 100%.
Where are your bodyguards right now, actually?
If they were smart, they probably quit.
A shame I don't. They're back at Kenzo. I came here not too recently. I let them go ahead on the train so they could prepare the town for my arrival.
Are they going to be rolling the red carpet for you?
No, of course not. They're just gonna scout out the best town and the best inn in the town to make sure that I'm sleeping in luxury in the town while I do my business.
so we know the place to avoid.
No, I just know where I'm gonna ask the bartender if I can put on a show that night and play some loud punk music.
Please, everyone knows the only true musical is classical.
Well, I agree that classical music is good. Every music has its merits.
If this doesn't have a piano in it, is it really even music?
Yes. Do you have a piano in you? Because, man, you're making some music and it's pretty terrible to me. Maybe you should get that tuned. And then Jace is going to move or do that motion across his entire body. You need to get all that tuned up. It's looking quite ratty.
You see them ruffle their feathers and feign passing out again. The audacity! I can't wait to get to town and be able to find a proper luxury place. I'll have to wash this coat 5 times over after all of this. I know I should have went ahead of time.
Look, you just looked at a man sitting on a train that has 2 guitars on his back and just decided to tell him what music was. You can shut the hell up for the rest of the train ride for all I care.
You see them hold their beak up in the air as they just give a loud exclamation.
You can't stick your nose up your ass any further than it already is, buddy. You can keep on trying, but it ain't gonna work.
You see them feign pass out, and they seem to be playing dead at this point.
Oh my god, he's gonna shut up.
Well, Haboku was.
Oh
gonna do
no!
something
He
new.
died! Time for surgery! Haboku, hold him down!
Haboku was actually, after he finished his meal, he was actually gonna give the next time the Pegramon unfeigned fasting out, he was actually just going to lick them in the face to see if that did anything.
You guys weren't supposed to be the midnight shenanigans. You weren't supposed to be the cause of the midnight shenanigans.
Okay, look, this man's first words out of the mouth was, "Oh, all these plebs, let's put the dogs in back." Good way to make instant enemies in public transit, man.
Going for the back to the Kotora is to get his food. Folger, you were seeing all of this unfold as you're just seeing your party members take down the true boss, capitalism.
Not even
Yeah, so
not even capitalism. It's just a snob.
when when he noticed this guy behind him, he basically bolted onto the train that had onto the place that had the least amount of people.
Fair.
And now he's slowly coming back to get his food from Kotora while this guy is just talking.
You seemed as... Go ahead, Kotora.
Kotora gave Fulgur his chill portions. Hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll be that way. And he's gonna head back into the back.
I don't blame you, Fulgur. This guy seems kind of mean.
Will you be alright over there?
Yeah. And
If you need
Fulker's
If you need
gonna
anything,
basically rush back.
yeah. If you need anything, just shout.
By the way, does the Pegramon react to Haboku's slobbery lick?
You
on his
see,
face
you
when
see
he
him
face
do. You see him do a few. You see him ruffle his feathers as he just goes, "My word, my word! Saliva is meant for food in the belly, not for faces."
I don't know. You look like a pretty tasty chicken to me. We'd have to get rid of a few of the layers of fat, but maybe if we slow roast you, it'll fix all that.
It looks. I'll have you know that my adventuring group finds my exercise quite fitting for a man of my age.
And what age is that, 80? Oh, excuse me, 110.
A ripe age of 25, I'll have you know.
Jace stares at him.
He does not look 25.
Buddy, you look older than me. That's not even an insult, I'm sorry.
It's just my 20 years of experience. The hard life of being a mercantile.
Oh, buddy. I hope you never see a hard life. Actually, never mind. I take that back. I really do hope you see a hint of hard life.
You see him just... my life is hard enough as is. Look at this coat, ruined. My face, slobbered. The people watching. This is fate, cruelly uncruel for this type of fitting my stature.
Can I just make the comment that nobody in this train is saying anything, getting a conductor or an employee? None of the employees are helping you, which pretty much means that you're the bad guy here and everybody hates you. How's that feel?
I'm just gonna see Ruffles. You see him do a loud snort as he ruffles his feathers once again.
Because I don't think we're being quiet and nobody's intervened, which means everybody's looking at this going, yeah, this is good.
You see a few what look to be younger Digimon kind of snicker a few times. The parents seem to try to like keep the younger ones like kind of close to them, but you also see a small like smile coming from the older of the Digimon, despite reprimanding their children for laughing.
Don't laugh, it's rude. Kids look away, start snickering.
Exactly.
Harold, it's not funny. Dear, it totally is funny. Harold, not in front of the kids. They're not paying attention. Let me laugh.
I'll say for the sake of time, we were able to make this guy essentially by the end of the trip just completely hate everything they have done in this entire week.
Hooray!
After they've been battered, licked, and muddied, they eventually you eventually get to Kenzo, finding yourself in the major city once again, just on the outskirts outside of the wall. The wall being much more progressively built since it was last time you've seen it, but still not fully complete yet. As you make your way back into the town, you see the gun was deputy mon guarding the town's entrance, same as when you left them. The penguin mon is quickly making their way past all of you in a full sprint, something that you'd imagine they are not used to doing, but in this case they have found the courage and willpower to sprint, probably for the first time in a month.
Oh, careful
away
there, you'll
from
hurt your
everyone.
heart.
I'll see my doctor in town, thank you.
We don't want you fainting on the way there, or maybe you should take it easy there, fat boy.
You say as they're like doing that thing where like one arm is like going at a time.
So,
in
real quick. Is there a train on this coat? Or a trail?
What do you mean?
You know, like, does it drag, is it long enough to drag on the ground behind him?
Oh, yes.
Perfect. As he's going to get off the train, Asher is going to stand on the trail of the coat. I'm imagining, there's stairs going down off the train.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as he goes to go down the stairs, Asher is standing on the train.
You see the penguin mon quickly kind of it's almost like a roll at first. You kind of see as they kind of fall down the stairs. They're very ball shaped to begin with. As you see them kind of make a quick tumble with you holding their coat in your paw, as this snap essentially goes free from their body. As you see them quickly standing up in a huff, they take their coat from your paw.
Oh no!
And they say,
as soon as they go tumbling down, Asher's going to bite the coat and toss it further back into the train, and then just kind of casually get off the train himself.
You see him lean against the trailmon, doing a loud sigh as they pretend fainting against the trailmon as they. The world has been cruel to me this day. I'll have to take 5 baths to make up for all of this trouble.
That trainmon is absolutely hoping he leaves now.
So once you make your way, he'll eventually grab his coat and make sure that he is far away from you guys in any capacity. I'm gonna have to hire a personal cleaner. I'm sure the cleaners in town will appreciate the business. See him just shaking off all of his feathery stuff off of him. He looks very, his fur is very matted and his feathers are very, very much just muddied. But you make your way into the Deputamon as they welcome you back to town, tipping their hat to you all, saying that it's been mighty quiet since y'all been gone now. Hope y'all had a nice trip up north to Sashin. Did you find anything you need to up there?
Haboku will give a friendly wave. He's just gonna look back at the rest of the group. Should we be telling this, or do we have to tell them first?
I think we gotta go report in. We got done what we needed to, though. Thank you.
Very well then. I'm not one for to gossip too much, but I hope your trip was successful. See him give a little tip of the hat. I think they're over in the main hub. I think you'll find them there. Business has been kept pretty small. I've seen people coming in and out, a few adventurers here and there. I'd say you have full right to go over there and report them. They kind of tip the hat one more time. You'll be on your way a little now.
On we go to report in.
Hooray!
Folger, this is the first time you've kind of really seen this town. You see what looks to be a very, very large wall that seems to be on either side of the Deputamon. On the inside of the town, you see what looks to be buildings littering the, not building, but almost on each side as well, even going deep around the town as you're kind of looking around the wall. The wall seems to be more in a circular shape around the town itself, and buildings both high.
Buildings both.
You cut out there. Good night, Azure.
Good night, Asher.
Did we lose Zerda there?
Oh, hello?
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 Yeah,
Hello?
you cut out for us there.
Oh, I was just describing the town for Folger is all.
Yeah, but we didn't hear anything.
I
We
was
heard
just
the building
describing
guard.
how. Oh, I was just saying the buildings are really tall. You see the buildings both tall and small. Various Digimon seem to be going in and out. The main road itself leading straight to the center of the town, where a humongous building compared to everything else stands. Imagining it being the essentially what would be the capital, or what you can imagine would be the capital of the town, as the whole town just seems to be alive and bustling with Digimon both here and fro.
Yeah, he's just gonna stay close to Jace as they're the biggest one and just kinda hide.
I'd say it wouldn't take more than just a little bit of a walk to get to the main front gates itself of the Data Anomaly Hunters main capital. The gates themselves, or the doors themselves, seem to be wide open. It's a very easy breeze on the day. It is still very much nighttime, as you would have gone back to town at about 10 p.m. Though the doors don't really seem to be locked. They seem to be almost open, waiting for anyone that needs to come into the town. You're not really too sure if it's been popped open for anything specific or if they're just open in general.
Well, I'm still going in anyways. The door isn't locked, I'm going in.
You have a
Folger's
familiar.
following.
Yep, as you go inside, Jace, like I said, it's about that 10 p.m. You find a very familiar, almost sense of comfort inside the building itself, knowing that this is basically the biggest stronghold that could possibly exist around that you would know at the moment. And as you would make your way inside, let's see, everyone roll me a percentile die.
All right.
The best fort around with unlocked doors.
And of course, it doesn't roll inside the thing, of course.
Oh!
I think you're fine, Haboku.
I think Haboku wins.
Haboku wins.
As god dang a 1. You can't really get lower than that. Which is actually, this is very much a little bit fitting, actually. Haboku, as you're essentially kind of making your way back inside as everyone else, almost instinctually, you feel a sense of something. It doesn't feel like danger, but it feels like something. And before you know it, as you turn around, you hear almost like you almost hear what sounds to be something thudding very, very, very heavy behind you, and you almost seem to turn back the same time as it lands, and you see Kino actually standing right behind you. They seem to have jumped from the ceiling. Oh, they seem to jump from the roof of the building all the way down to you.
Hey.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Haboku. It's great to see your group back. I wasn't sure when you'd get back, but I always do my nightly watch around this time. I'm lucky to catch you guys. I've only been watching for about an hour, but I saw the train coming in, so I've been watching to see any newcomers coming into town. It's good to see you guys.
Okay, this will make it easy. Do we just report to you, or do we do paperwork or something?
Do you think that you can summarize it properly here?
Mission successful. Found the culprit. Damage to building still occurred. It sounds like the rainstorms moved off to do other things. It was a cameraman. We got this guy, points at the flame Ramon. He was a co-conspirator.
He kind of looks over to the Flamon. He kind of investigates. You kind of see him squinting his eyes a little bit. He clearly can see in the dark. Flamon kind of has a small glow around them itself. Yes, I think. Is that you, Yanni? Yona, is that you? The Flamon you see him kind of looking very sheepish in front of them, as they kind of said, I'm familiar with the town. I've been to that town a few times, though not in recent years. He kind of looks, I'm hoping there's a good explanation for why I'm assuming, being arrested. You kind of see them very sheepishly kind of kick the ground a little bit. Yeah, I'll give you a full report, actually. There's even more information that I think might be helpful here. I'm more than compliant with everyone, and I can tell you that the entire group here not only saved my wife, but also saved the town. I'd be happy to give a full report of the successes of them, how they were in town. We actually just had a festival we held in honor of them too as well. You see the Wiggerumon laugh very boisterously before kind of coughing a little bit. That town loves their festivals. I'll be happy to hear whatever you have. I'll keep a watch over you for the next few days just to see. I'll have to run a few tests to make sure nothing got... Well, we've been finding a few different tests to see if we can spot any sort of glitch in people, but I'll have to see what I can do. And he kind of looks over to the rest of you guys. I'll be happy to get a full report from him. I know you said that he's a criminal in this, but I do trust his word at least. But I can compare the stories that you guys give with the story of this guy as well. And I think just a few bits of time, and I think maybe if you can spare me about 5 to 10 minutes of your time, I can make the report on your behalf.
Is
whatever
this
you-
coughing thing like out of the ordinary?
What's up, Haboku?
Would his coughing sound out of the ordinary?
Yes, you can tell that it sounds like he is. It's similar to what you saw or what you remember last time. As you may or may not remember, he was coughing last time whenever he was speaking. He does seem to have a gruff voice about him that definitely does not seem like it's a natural cough. What is natural, but it's pained.
We do have one other thing that we need to report on.
Certainly. What else did you find in your investigation?
Asher here got a strange message, an SOS of some form, it sounds like. Asher?
Yes. And he's going to pull out his dock and show the message.
Thanks. Oh. You kind of see he kind of looks over a little bit. I actually might be familiar with this. I see that and you kind of notice that they've never actually signed their name in any of it, as even despite the messages back and forth, they seem to be avoiding any sort of direct name. But as you see him looking over, I think, and you see him as he's kind of reading over all of the different names. Yes, that's Naoki. At least from the judgments of the writings. He was a glitch researcher that we sent to the forest about a few months ago. We heard that there was a guardian, or at least from what I've been hearing, the guardian there has been causing a lot of trouble for the forest region, has been locking out anyone trying to get inside the city or inside any of that biome. We've had a bunch of refugees coming from that town and have been staying here for, well, until whatever happens over there is resolved. He must have found something, maybe regarding why that guardian has been giving so much trouble to everyone there. It sounds like he's in trouble over there.
Well, that sounds about right. Of course.
Oh, we usually we don't really like to give missions to you guys immediately after you get back to town, but if you'd want to go and investigate that, they are a researcher of ours, but one we trust a lot. Actually, they were one of the main glitch researchers here in town. They've been studying all of the element here. They think it might be connected to some sort of tree or something over there, so they went to go check it out a long time ago. They've been mostly undercover in the trees themselves. They're a really old friend of ours. One that isn't just a random hire that promised us photos. He says, looking over at you guys.
I may need a few days to recover.
Yeah,
Well,
I was about to ask, is this something that could wait a moment? Like,
well,
go ahead.
Because you see him holding up a claw. No worries, no worries. I'm not gonna send you guys on a mission. I can tell you that the forest biome hasn't had very much travel here and there since they've been blocking off outsiders, but the few insiders still find themselves on the safe trails.
Oh my god.
So you kind of see him. You see him looking up towards the sky a little bit. I think there is a Trailmon actually, one that you want to visit, the one not from Sashin to here, but there's another one that's meant for more long-term travel. I could get you guys on the most highest class seats possible on the way to the forest biome. It'll take about a day by train, but several days by foot. I would recommend taking the train. I think it leaves in about 3 or 4 days from now. I can find out which one of those by morning. But you're welcome to stay in the city for about 3 to 4 days before the train arrives.
Can we just get, like, some train passes so we can just take the trains wherever we need to go?
Yes. And
they charged us.
I'll have charged you. Did you tell them that you were the heroes of the town?
Nope.
We didn't even mention that until we're already on the train.
To be honest, I'm pretty sure most of us are kind of tired of the constant partying going around. Considering most of us are introverts, apparently.
Asher just points at Jace.
Yes.
Also, we have fan art from Ido.
Yeah.
That's quite naughty.
Oh, got the extra squeaky from Gimund.
Asher when they see a penguin moth. You kind of also you do see you do see Kino kind of blink a few times. Your badges that we provided you are a free pass on all trains connected to Kenzo.
Ah! Asher's going back to the train station.
Are you... Asher, come home when you're done, okay?
I am off to get a refund. I will not be in
After
more
you're done-
debt.
After the refund. You're not in debt. I owe you for an arm. Oh, yeah. We'll explain that in the morning. I really want sleep.
Of course. I can have my payment sent to your rooms. I actually think your rooms are still vacant. The ones you had last time, though. All of the beds are made up, of course, so you'll have to find yourselves accompaniment again. The bed has also been repaired from whatever shenanigans you and your party got up to that night. I did receive report of that.
Okay,
Yep.
well,
It
sorry
seems,
about...
it seems Asher likes to booby trap stuff.
Well,
Yes,
that's...
you were removing things from the walls.
Yeah, he does that. That's why I was just gonna bring him to our house. If that's... Are we okay to just stay at my house? Or me and my son, at least?
Certainly. Would you like me to find a way to get your payment directly to your home, or do you want me to leave it here for you?
Just leave it here. We'll grab it in the morning when we meet up with everybody else. I didn't invite
See,
you all over, but my house is kind of small, guys. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
No worries. They'll have themselves wonderful accommodations here. You see him as he'll kind of look out a little bit. I'll get back to the watch, but you guys are more than free to take up the room. You're familiar with where you were last time. And of course, you'd have free food in the morning as well. Find yourself very full of mind and body in the morning. And like I said, I'll figure out whether it's 3 or 4 days here by morning. I'll have to check the train's schedule. But I welcome you back to Kenzo all the like.
All right. Fulgur, are you gonna be okay with them?
Yeah.
Okay. Haboku, are you staying here?
Yeah.
All right.
You see the Gurumon make a massive leap and jump all the way to the top of the building with about 3 different leaps. They make it directly up to the roof of the building without any issue.
Kotora just looks at that and just say, "Wow, so cool."
A little bit of a show off.
Go get the refund, Asher. I'm gonna go. I'll meet you at home, okay, buddy?
Okay.
Is actually going to get a refund for everyone?
Yes.
How much were we getting paid from this job, by the way? I'm just gonna add to my character sheet now.
30 bytes in total.
Nice.
30 bytes each or 30 bytes total that we split?
Each.
Okay.
Each. Yeah, you guys are getting paid 30 bytes each.
Nice.
Very nice.
Actually, I would say that you do with your zoomies, you're able to make it. You do hear as you're just making your way past the Deputymon, you hear a loud horn going that says 5 minutes till departing.
Asher is finding the ticket, man.
You quickly they seem to be in the same place as you left them off. You see the ticket guy over there, the very aptly named the Turumon, the Kurihara. You see them kind of holding on to a railing that goes up inside the passenger, or up into the passenger, as they seem to be kind of checking over to see if anyone else is going to be coming into the train.
Asher is going up to him. Hey, you!
Welcome on back. Are you going back to Shinzo already?
No!
Joshua and
Apparently you, not only did you quote me wrong on the price, telling me with 5 bytes, but then it turns out that you also were you charged us incorrectly?
I charged you 5. I've charged all of your friends. I've charged everyone today the same price.
You told me with 5 bytes. And we're supposed to be riding for free because we're with the Data Anomaly Hunters.
You see him like go from more of a cocky demeanor to like a more serious demeanor. Oh, I was unaware. You see him give a very strong bow down, like kind of like he kind of does like with his hand over his chest. He does a bow to you. My apologies. You should have shown me your badge. I would have been happily let you ride the Trailmon for free. We are
Asher's just
friends
going
of the
to
town.
He's just going to point at the badge on his bag.
Sorry, I didn't see it while you were running off after that. I didn't see it at first. My apologies, sir.
Well, we need refunds.
Guys, I think there was, what, 4 of you I think I let on?
5. Well, 6 including myself.
He's so ready to jump to the 5. Oh, 6, very well, very well. You see him, he pulls out, here are 3 bites for you and your party. I trust that no one else is going to come by and say that I also ended up having to pay all 6 of you. I trust that you'll find this money to the rest of your group.
Well, yes. I'm evil, not a jerk.
He kind of gives a laugh, as one would expect from one of the data anomaly hunters. Once again, my sincerest apologies. As he gives you the 3 additional, he gives you the 3 bites back. Next
Asher
time,
is
be
going
sure to
to
tell your
nod
friends
and-
about the badge.
Will do. And next time you should make sure that you don't try and rip people off by telling them it's 5 bites.
You looked wealthy, my young child. You looked so wealthy coming onto my train at first.
Oh,
give
so
us
that's
grin.
what your reason is. Then I guess I
I
should
saw your
probably
mess.
take it up with my superiors.
Kind of see, well, I would happy to make you, and you kind of see him as he pulls out an extra bite. A little bit more wealthy to be more aptly attuned to what your looks portray you as.
So you're trying to bribe me with just 1 bite?
Consider it a gift.
Oh, well, I'll take
Yeah.
the gift then.
For messing up and not recognizing your grand stature.
Oh, he'll
He's
take the
saying-
bite. But it's a gift, not a bribe, so he's gonna report it anyways.
Why did this man just look a cop in the eye and go, "Yeah, I'm totally fleecing somebody. I tried to fleece you because you looked rich. Here, I'm
No,
gonna
that sounds
obviously try to
economics.
bribe you."
It was a gift. But no, yes. You may report that to the town in the morning. Or at night, depending on how zealous you're feeling.
It's Asher. Do you really need to ask if he's... Really?
Zerda, I've got an important question, actually. How much did he charge the rich asshole?
Probably way more than 5 bites. Probably the funds of most everyone on the train combined.
Well, I mean, the rich asshole specifically said that he had his 5 nibbles and there was an extra tip there.
You'd imagine the tip is probably very expensive.
Well, no, the tip was just 1 more nibble. You did specifically say that.
Just an additional. Oh, is it? Yeah.
Didn't fleece the rich guy. Yeah, he needs to be reported.
Yeah, so Asher is
Please
going
do it,
immediately to... He is immediately going to look for whoever might be in charge of all this.
Unfortunately, the main guy in charge is currently on the roof at the moment. There is a method to get to the roof, but it will just take an extra bit.
Oh, you mean the where Garurumon?
Yeah.
Kuno?
Most of everyone else is asleep. You are hitting like 11 p.m. at night. The only one that does the night watch is Kino themselves. As they're the guardian of the town.
Ah. Can Asher see him?
Yeah. I'd say
Hey,
to see him.
Kino!
You see him as he looks down. You see him getting up from his perch, looks like a gargoyle up on top of the building as you see him jump down with a heavy thud behind you. Hello. Hey, Asher. Did you want a room and board here in town? Well, at least in the building.
No, I wanted to talk about corruption in your conductors.
Guy blinks. Did you catch the name of the conductor so I could report them properly?
No. But he was a insert species name here.
Yep. Was he trying to get more money out of people?
He tried to charge me 5 bytes for the train.
You kind of see him do a very low, throaty growl of disapproval.
I managed to get a refund for the us being anomaly hunters. But he told me outright himself that he tried to charge me more because I apparently looked rich. And then he tried to give me a bribe, which he then called a gift.
Unfortunately, since it's called a quote-unquote gift, I can't do much about that. But trust me when I say I'll make sure that he's not going to be fleecing the town. With us reopening the trail all the way to Shashin, I think he was trying to make a quick buck while the town was basically in disarray one more time. I'll make sure that he's on the actual, he kind of looks, I'll make sure he's on the kitchen duty versus the, well, charging people portion. If he's not going to want to be able to be properly handled with money, maybe he can handle a soap and dishes better.
Good.
Guy says, I'll have, and you kind of hear the loud horn from the train as it departs. Okay, you see it with a loud sigh. I'll have Kiga go to them in the morning and demote them. I think you'll find a new conductor next time you get there. If you take a road back to Shashin, I'll make sure the traveling trailmon to the forest biome is much more honest in their intent.
I would hope so.
You see, I'll make sure, and also he kind of looks down. If you want to, and he kind of looks a little bit. I know I overheard you guys saying that your place is small. If you ever want some furniture, I'd be happy to offer some things to maybe liven up your home a little bit. I'd hate to see you guys live in just a small hole somewhere.
Okay,
I know a
repeat
guy
that
in
last
furnishing. Basically says he knows a guy in furnishing that would help spruce up the home. While it may be small, he can at least be assured that at least it'll feel more welcome and more like home, and maybe something more to your style. And is offering his contact within a furnishing place to make your home feel a little bit more special.
Asher squints. Are you offering me a bribe too?
You gotta hear him with a hefty laugh. No. I know to make sure the citizens of the town feel much more welcome in the town. I know, especially with us having so many visitors from different biomes, not everyone can have a home suited to them whenever they first arrive here. So we've been trying to furnish up the home. As you see him, as he kind of does a claw over the city, you'll be seeing houses that are seemed almost chill to the touch right next to right next to a house that seems to have almost fire spouting from the roof. We've been trying to accommodate everyone in town, and he kind of looks. If I knew you guys were held up somewhere else, I would have came to you guys earlier to help maybe furnish up. I want people to feel safe in the city, like it's a home to them.
Okay, I'll talk with Jace.
If there's any sort of things from your own home biome, I'm sure we could find some accommodations here that would maybe fit. If you know where you guys were originally coming from, we have furnitures that handle specific biome furniture to make you feel more welcome. Let him know that he's welcome to that at any time. Especially with the funds that we're paying you, you should be able to afford some nice furnishings for the home.
Well, I mean, we kind of just went all over the place. We never really stayed anywhere for long.
And consider it your forever home here. One that you'll be proud to build up as we build up the city.
Do they have thrones?
You guys see a sly grin. Well, if they didn't make one, then where would I have my own sitting, of course?
Okay. I'm gonna need to see your throne so I can make sure mine is bigger.
You gotta see him laugh a little bit. I'll make sure that you have a throne appropriate to your size and stature.
No, it must be huge. Big and magnificent. I am a god. Gods should have the best thrones.
Yeah, you kind of see him almost looking off in the distance as if he's thinking very, very much in a deep pondering. Aye, that indeed. A god with throne of gold and metal. One of the arms themselves with fierce wolf heads on the ends of the armchairs, each of them representing both the triumph and terror.
This shit's gonna be bigger than our living room, damn it. Asher, we live in a one-bedroom house with one of those big closets. Where are you going to put a throne?
He will find a place.
He's gonna end up putting it on the roof.
He just looks out there, he just sits on the roof gazing upon his kingdom.
Jace is gonna walk out one day and see a throne on the roof and then just walk back inside, lay down on the couch, and go back to sleep.
Well, no, he just, it's gonna be huge, so it'll just be his new bed.
You have successfully unlocked Home Furnishings. You have purchased the Home Bundle DLC.
God, I
You're
want
not
to
the
play
first
The
party.
Sims.
You're not the first party that I've actually given home furnishings as rewards for games before.
I mean, we had
I
one
kinda have a
campaign
thing.
where we had a I can never remember the specific name, but it's the magical mansion spell.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We had it tied to a wagon, so we could just go in the wagon and then go in through a door in the wagon to get into our mansion, and we just kept upgrading it. It was great for feeding the Mordenkainen's magical mansion wagon.
Yes.
It is there is a you are more than free to have home furnishings. I do have a soft spot for when players spend money on things like home furnishing and things like clothes and things that make themselves feel more alive in the world. I
Oh
always
god,
like seeing
yes,
that.
Raijin. The one time we let Rock right on the plan of the mansion. Suddenly we had a murder mystery going on. Because we could change the layout of the mansion as we pleased. And the very unintelligent fighter decided to write on the plan, and yeah.
Why do I just have this headcanon that somebody glued a clue board to the board?
I forget what he was trying to write, but he wound up writing murder instead.
Also, yes, I'll say you have now successfully unlocked home furnishings, and with that, Gina will excuse themselves to the roof. I'm assuming you're heading back home, Asher?
Oh, right, that's what he was trying to write. He was trying to write mirror.
Ow.
And instead he wrote murder somehow. And then the next time we walked in, we were trapped inside and had to solve a murder mystery.
Oh no.
Anyways, yes, Asher is going home.
You enter your home stealthily, or loudly, or normal.
Normal.
You walk through the door. Is Jace? This would be about maybe an hour since you've been home. I would say maybe about 11 p.m. Jace, are you awake?
No, he's already asleep on the couch. We're in the city now, so Asher's somewhat contained.
Ain't no wall high enough.
Ha.
You find yourself inside your home. There's a sleeping Jace on your couch.
Asher is going to.
Oh, go ahead.
Asher is going to get a glass of water and put Jace's hand in it. The good one, of course.
Wow.
Don't know if you want to roll for that.
Some wahaha what contained?
But you do that, and then I will say, unless Chase wants to react to that,
I mean, I would have to roll a perception, wouldn't I?
go ahead.
What's my negative for being asleep?
I would say just difficulty +1. Zero.
Yeah, that's a 0. Nope. No reaction. Just Jace is gonna mumble, Asher, you got your own bed.
Just to make sure I didn't botch it.
You hear Jace mumbling your name.
Asher, you got your own damn bed.
He will go to his bed. A job well done.
I would say Haboku, Kotora, and Riv. You guys are now all, and then technically Folga as well. You guys are all sharing a room. You have 2 bunk beds in there. Actually, technically 3 bunk beds. One seems to be recently repaired. And you see Folger grab his sleeping bag, and now that you guys kind of set your stuff down in the room, you see Folger grab his sleeping bag and then begin to leave the room.
Yeah, Folger, where are you going?
Stargazing. And then, bolts off.
Haboku's just kind of turned to Kotora and Riv with a curious expression, wondering if he should go follow.
What did Gimund say, by the way? I didn't hear that.
Stargazing.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't think you can get much of a response. Raharu?
Ah, god damn it! I was muted.
Oh boy.
Cal!
Deploy the meme.
Cal! You know your job!
I know. I'm grabbing it.
Sorry, I was muted. The famous last words.
What I was saying though is responding to Haboku. Stargazing. I think just let him be. This might be just something that he enjoys doing.
Okay.
Haboku will hop onto the bunk bed that's closest to the door, just to be He ready for anything and on the watch.
Do you take the top or bottom?
The bottom.
Noted for later. Let's see here.
Kotora is going to help Rib get up to his bed because he remembers that he had the top bed.
Yeah.
Toss him like a basketball. It'll be fine.
I mean, the bed's more likely to get damaged than he is.
Exactly. It'll be fine.
You guys just had to replace a bed in that room.
I'm not going to do that.
I will say there is 3 bottom bunks now.
Yeah.
But-
So.
But yeah, Rib will accept Kotora's help.
If you find yourself in a familiar feeling location, still a fresh scent, not the same scent that was there last time, is a freshly new scent of the covers themselves, but you find yourself in a familiar bed once more. It almost feels twice as recovering, being somewhere in a not only just safe bed, but safe town within safe walls. It feels a greater sense of safety and peace that wasn't really as prevalent in the other town.
Boy,
Also-
the amount of safe being said here kind of implies
Yeah.
something bad's happening.
There's just so much safety in this town.
Yep. Having noted this feeling, he's immediately shoving his stuff to the side, and is going to plop almost face down into the pillows.
By the way, did during our entire journey did Rib ended up eating the stuff that Kotora left him, or he just or he didn't look at it?
Did you eat the good meal?
I was about to say he probably would. Presumably so long as he because I'm imagining they have I'm just assuming that they have the little fold down table stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, yes.
Okay, yeah. So, because otherwise, Kotra would have just left the warm box on top of your bed for you to notice it whenever you're actually conscious.
Yeah. So long as there was actually a place to eat it at, he would have.
Fair.
I will say, due to the extreme safety of the town, I will say you do relieve 1 extra point of exhaustion, just because you are basically in your main hub.
Because it's so safe.
It is very safe.
Yeah.
It is perfectly safe. It's going to be safe for at least 3 days.
I love having a timer on my safety. It's really safe, right, guys?
Yeah.
He said at least, so that indicates it might be safe a little bit longer. So it's even better than a timer. It's an unknown timer.
Exactly. At least 3 days of safety. Hideout safe. Yes, and then I'll say, Folger, you make your way to this ceiling. It's a little bit of a walk, because you have to go through a few other doors, a few doors that clearly are not where you need to go, and then you kind of end up walking around the cafeteria a little bit, realizing that it is not really there either. But after enough time, you're able to find the right door that points you to the upstairs. And it takes you see what looks to be a ladder that goes. It's kind of like a door, but as you open the door, there's a small square long room or tall room, and it's a ladder that goes straight up to the ceiling itself, or say up to the ceiling, straight up to the roof. As you make your way to the roof with your sleeping bag without much trouble, it's a little bit of a coordinated mess, but you're able to get up there just fine. And as you make your way to the roof, you do see Kino standing there almost like a watchful guardian, as they should. And you kind of see them standing as they're looking over town. You see their ears twitch a lot back and forth, almost as if it looks almost like they're hearing the entire town simultaneously at once. You see them with a very serious posture that indicates something of both power and pride as they watch out into the city.
Not wanting to disturb him. And because of his own timidness, he's gonna be as quiet as possible. And set up the sleeping bag in a place that he seems best. So he can look up
Yeah,
at
you
the
see
stars.
you see what looks to be a slightly raised platform, one that it seems once held some things on it, but at the moment seems to be empty. It's just kind of like a very small, like few step platform, but it does seem big enough to hold you and your sleeping bag. The air itself feels very chilled, but not in an uncomfortable way. More so just that feeling of breadth of essentially the air and nature itself. At least as much as you can get in the city, anyways. But with most of the lights being far below the city and not too bright, you would notice that the stars above seem to be very bright, as well as a few different ones that you can even pick out as you look to the grand vast space above.
And he's just gonna be doing that for a while, unless disturbed.
Give me a percentile. Let me see how much you can recognize. Let's see what kind of star signs are out tonight.
Oh!
4. As you are stargazing, you kind of put one of your claws up in the air, and it's almost like you're drawing, almost like an instinct. It almost kind of floods back a little bit of memories of whenever your dad was pointing their staff up to the sky, almost like they're writing in the sky with a stylus. As they connect dots in ways that you never knew could even be connected, you see patterns and forms that begin to create themselves as you trace your claw through the air, similar to your dad's staff. You start to, almost in a instinctual way, begin to trace out. One seems to be a wolf head. One seems to be the muzzle of a great dragon. Another seems to be a grand potion. Another a cauldron mixed with a mixer that seems to be moving their stick in circles. And all of these forms, it's almost like you're drawing on an already completed canvas and you're just tracing the lines as you're watching the sky unfold about before you, like a book that is waiting to be read with your claws.
And yeah, he's just enjoying the experience of all of it. But can he see any stars he might not recognize?
Yeah, I would say with that, you notice that being more in the southern biome versus the northern, you could tell that all the constellations that you've been pointing out have been essentially kind of shifted in a way you're not. It kind of takes a second to really recognize them, but with you being so far south, there seems to be almost a different set of stars that you don't really recognize as normal. They're not abnormal in the sense of a star, but they're definitely ones you haven't really seen. And as you kind of begin to explore with your claw in the air, it's almost like you're connecting dots, and you kind of enjoy the experience as you kind of connect new images with this trained hand of seeing old images that your dad taught you. You now find yourself drawing new images in the sky, ones that you kind of name to yourself almost in a kind of small kid-like fashion, but you find yourself essentially connecting dots in the air and naming them yourself in a sense of almost home kind of feeling.
How many in total does he like make?
Let's see. I would say you start losing count after about 15 images in the sky. You start kind of making a bunch of different images. Some you name. By the time you named your 15th one, you kind of forgot the first one. So it's almost just something that's kind of almost putting you to sleep a little bit as you're kind of making these images into the sky itself.
And yeah, he might actually just fall asleep while doing this.
It's a sense of a home that is really rarely met sometimes, and it it gives you an intense sense, a feeling of just that almost longing, but also that tiny sense of adventure that seems to explore as you kind of begin to explore the sky, like you would explore a rune in a cave far underneath the world. The sky itself is like an undiscovered rune that has been yet to be discovered, and you feel a sense of both pride and adventure as you're exploring the sky, as if it is a hallway of a great labyrinth. With that, I'll say yes, you do fall asleep. You see, Kino seems to only have really given you more of an ear twitch whenever you first came up. They don't seem to be bugging you in any capacity, but they do seem to be fully aware. Even with them standing as close as they are, you do feel a great sense of almost safety with the Guardian being just within just eyes sight. And you do feel a grand sense of peace that seems to wash over you. Something that's been at least something you haven't really been able to feel, as even though you feel a bit more anxious being around others, knowing that this guardian is here, the aura itself seems to give you a piece of comfort almost, just being in the aura of a guardian.
So like a balancing effect.
Yeah. It's considered like a leadership aura. Olga finds a sense of peace.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Now for Asher to come out from the field!
Jace is Asher's subject for tonight, luckily. Not luckily for Jace, but luckily for everyone else.
It's times like this I'm glad that Jace doesn't actually have fingers, he just has claws, because otherwise that could have ended badly.
I will say,
I really
is there
think
anything-
Asher did not plan for that.
Oh no.
Your entire hand is in water. You are wetting yourself. As Rex comes out with that, with me saying that.
Don't put that into the quotes. Your whole hand is in water. You are going to be wetting yourself.
Okay, yeah, I'm adding
That's
that.
a quote. That's gonna be a weird context for later.
Have you seen the quotes on Zim's channel? Context? Gimund, pull up the recent one about the zipper.
I don't know the exact number on that one.
Just a zipper.
No, there's more to it. I think it was 419. Nope, it'd be later. It was a 429.
Warning, this symbol hurts your eyes. Ow.
Yes.
I will say
It's the one
we all
after that.
I will say we are winding up a little bit soon, just to give you a heads up. Just to give you the personal heads up. Haboku, Kotora, and Riv. Is there anything you guys would like to say to each other before passing out?
Haboku wouldn't probably have much else to say aside from a good night. before curling up in bed, but being right next to the door in case anything happens.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, then, then I think we'll start the next session with everyone being awake. Riv, like I said, your exhaustion, you're going to get an extra point of exhaustion reduction on top of the long rest as well. Everyone else is going to benefit from the long rest. If there's anything you need to recover, you may do that now. And even as going as far as saying you have 3 days in the city, as of at least right now, you have 3 days in the city where there's going to be essentially you're going to get your payment in the morning, and then next session, everyone is going to find at least one thing they're going to be doing in the city over the next 3 days. You don't have to have an itinerary for every day, but just try to find something to do fun in the city, and we can have a small little city day tomorrow, or city day next session, before
Nice.
heading off to the forest.
Sounds good.
And if you have anything, like I said, you want to buy or anything, just let me know and I can have a scene if you want to buy it role-playing wise, or if you just want to add it to your sheet. Assume that you have the payment in hand. But that is going to be a session.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today for Data Anomaly Hunter Scar. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to help out the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, picking up packs of cards to stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or by commissioning one of the artists that I manage for. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Later, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Well,
Goodbye.
Bye.